everybody. Welcome to another segment of Smarterfan podcast, where we bring you behind the veil of sports business and life. And I hope everybody had a safe and happy new year. How you doing, Barry? I'm Joe.
Hey, Joe, I'm doing well. Glad to see you made it over the timeline into 2025. Man, it's going to, can you believe it? 2024, all the things we talked about, all the guests we had on, and
Hmm.
only is going to get bigger and bigger and better in 25. And so I'm just glad we're here, man. We're here with our family and friends, and we're here with our fans of
Yes,
Smarter
we
Fan
are.
Podcast. And so we have exciting things for you guys in store for 2025. So buckle up and get ready to roll because we're going to have a good time, my friend.
That's right. That's right. All right. I'm going to talk about Greg Gumbel.
The great. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, he was born in New Orleans and he was the oldest of four children.
Oh,
But
wow.
they all grew up on the south side of Chicago.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So he played baseball at Loras College and he also earned his BA in English there.
Okay.
And in
Okay.
73, his brother, who was working as a sportscaster at a TV station in LA, told him about a job opening at one of the affiliates in Chicago. So,
Ah,
oh yeah, so he got that job and he worked there for 7 years as a sportscaster. And then after that, he did a couple of stints at ESPN where he anchored Sports Center,
uh-huh.
and he worked at MSG where he was a backup announcer for Marv Albert doing Knick games.
Ah,
Oh yeah, yeah. He also hosted the first radio morning show on WFAN.
nice.
Now,
Nice.
this man had many hats. I mean, he went to CBS part time as an NFL announcer. That's how he started there.
Mm,
You know, and then he hosted NFL Today,
yeah.
and he also covered Major League Baseball and college football and the Daytona 500 and the Pepsi 400.
Yeah.
So then he did a stint at NBC and where he did coverage and play-by-play for Major League Baseball and the NBA.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he went back to CBS and he hosted coverage of the men's college basketball tournament. And he was also the lead announcer for NFL games with Phil Simms as the color man.
Mm-hmm.
And now in 23, he stepped back from NFL coverage and just hosted college basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in retrospect, he was the first African American to announce the Super Bowl.
Mm.
Yeah, he did Super Bowls 35 in '01 and 38 in '04.
Wow.
And yeah, he was all over the place. And he was one of a few sports announcers to have worked on pregame, play-by-play, and radio Super Bowl broadcast teams.
Hmm.
So now, unfortunately, we lost him on December 27th. He died of cancer, and he was 78 years old.
Too soon. Too soon.
Yeah, yes, it was. So rest in peace, Mr. Gumbel.
Yeah, absolutely. Man. Hmm.
So what's going on with Colorado University?
Well, as we enter into this new year era of, college football, you know, Colorado's going through changes of coaches. People are panicking,
Mm,
and not understanding that's what comes with the territory. That's what you want. You want your coaches to do well and get
mm,
opportunities to other places, because that builds the tree, you know, and
yeah.
that's what you want because you're not gonna coach forever, right? So you want
Mm,
those who win with you and are successful to go on and keep coaching because that's really your legacy as a coach. You know what I mean? That's what your
yeah.
legacy is. You hopefully can leave behind, and so that's part of it. And so My brothers were like, "Well, what do you think?" I said, "Well, that's a natural progression. I wish some of those coaches would have stayed, but one thing I know about Coach Prime, he's always prepared to reload. He understands
Mm,
this. You reload and you get better and you keep building, and
yep.
that's the game, right? So, there's that piece of it. There's players who are leaving, and they're finding out that the portal is a blessing and can be a curse.
Yep.
If you don't know how to use it, if you don't know how to grow and develop and deal with adversity, you got to learn how to think, and it's hard. From 0 to 18, somebody been wiping your butt, feeding you and clothing you and sheltering you.
Mm,
Now, you've entered into a business,
yeah.
it really behooves you to uh, understand what you're into. And, I was just watching a documentary about SMU. And those,
Mm,
those glory years of SMU were very much the precursor to my glory years in college football. You know,
mm-hmm. Okay.
that 81 to 85, right? So I graduated high school in 83,
Mm,
and then graduated college in 87. So by 86, 87, they were under sanction, but Eric Dickerson and Craig James were it. SMU was in my developmental football years. That was all in the root. That was all the news and the raid.
yeah.
So it was
Well,
interesting to see, and you could see back then the handwriting on the wall. But it's always been there. Players need to be paid, need to be compensated. They generate
mm,
so much economics. But yeah, yeah. So CU football, man, is just like the second coming to me of SMU, and with some twists and some turns,
mm.
as it's now kind of out in the open. But it's a business. It's a
Yes, it
business.
is. Yes,
It's a
it is.
business.
Well, speaking of Eric Dickerson, Saquon, he's after scorching our Cowboys for 167 yards.
Lord have
That
mercy.
that brought him to 2,005 yards on the season.
Hmm.
Now, here's the thing. Since the Eagles clinched the NFC East, all indications are they're going to sit him for the last game against the Giants.
Yeah.
So he's going to come up 101 yards short of Dickerson's record of 2,105.
Hmm.
Now, here's my thing.
What do you
Okay.
think?
Okay. I understand why the Eagles are doing it. It's just precaution, and I understand that. But if they don't win the Super Bowl, then
Exactly.
the question that's going to hang over them is what if?
Yep.
And that's just going to hang over them if they don't win the Super Bowl.
They're
So,
not winning the Super Bowl.
so the question is going to be what if?
Yeah. It
You
this
know?
I don't go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, but that's my thing on it. They got to go all the way, or it's going to be all for naught, in my opinion.
And to me, I've heard so many stupid arguments. And I came up with this. I told my brother, well, they need to rest and they da, da, da. I said, listen, and this was probably the best thing I heard from Shannon Sharp.
Mm.
Listen, tell the first team, hey guys, I got 105. This is what's going to get the head coach fired because he makes these bad decisions. He's made them ever since he's been in Philadelphia.
Hmm.
You want to get your franchise in the record books,
Hmm.
right? You want your running back to go, right? Because it'll work against you even if you win the Super Bowl. What do you think people are going to say? You denied the guy the opportunity. You see what I'm saying? Because
Exactly.
because that
Exactly.
goes to your franchise. Like we always think of Eric Dickerson breaking the record as what? A Ram,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So with 100 and something yards, listen, guys, why don't we put the first team in for the first half? If we don't get it by the first half, I'm pulling all of y'all. Sit down. Second team, third team goes in. That's
There you
it.
go. There you go.
Then I tell the lineman, hey, I tell everybody on the offense, we get this done in the first half. all y'all get $100,000. I bet you get it.
Yeah.
I bet you get it.
Well, we'll see how that develops.
Watch
But
this. Watch this. Made that record in 1984. What year is it now?
2024.
I rest my case.
2025, actually.
I
Yeah.
rest my case. It's not
Well,
easy to do.
no, it's not. So we'll have to see how that plays out. But on
Yeah.
another bright note, this is one of the few bright spots for the Raiders.
Oh, what you got?
Their rookie tight end, Brock Bowers, he broke Mike Ditka's 63-year-old record of
What?
1,076 receiving yards.
What?
Yeah. He
Dad.
had he had 1,144. And he also set the record for most catches by a rookie in a season with 108. And this
That boy
is
was catching.
but my question is, who was throwing him the ball?
I don't know who, but he
You
was sure
know,
catching it. I tell
so
you that.
yeah, so he and that was a franchise record also. So that was one of the few bright spots, for the Raiders this year.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
but yeah, that record stood for a long time.
Wow. That's a long record.
Yeah, 63 years.
Dad.
Yeah, Ditka did that in 61.
Mike was the truth.
Yes,
Mike
he
was the
was.
truth. Mike was the truth.
Yeah.
Mike
So,
was, yeah.
what's going on with the Vikings?
Man, I didn't know, Joe. I kind of missed it because I was wondering where Flores was. I know he went to Pittsburgh for a minute, but then I saw him doing his thing with the Vikings, and they're
Yeah,
having such a great season.
with
So I said,
Sam Darnold. Hello.
"Hello, former Jet." Right? Sometimes you got to know what you're good at, Woody, and know what you're not good at, and put people
Hmm.
who are good at what they do. Just because you sign the checks, don't mean you know how to do this thing.
And especially listening to your teenage kids.
Yeah, I rest my case. I rest my case. Like there are professionals out there who could help you, like Jimmy Johnson, get the infrastructure and things that you know what I'm saying to
Yeah.
really help you create a winning franchise, as opposed to this laughing stock you have. It's
Mm,
ridiculous. Anyway. So I'm just happy to see Flores doing what he's doing, having success and
yeah.
at a high level. And I'm really, really rooting for and I told my brother, I said, see, Sam Darnold wasn't a bust. I keep trying to tell you, there's no way around it. You have talent, but to get to the next level, you gotta have skill and mastery, and you have to have a front office and a coach and a GM who are committed to that.
Yeah.
It can't be just talent. It's not just talent. You got to have development, people who can
Yes.
develop you to the next level
And
if you're
O'Connell
gonna
is
win.
that coach.
He is. He is. He looks like a Boy Scout. He cracks me up. But he is.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
You
he's a
know,
quarterback whisperer.
he is. He is. Darnold out there playing. It looks like they're going to trade the young kid, which is not necessarily a bad thing because they'll probably get some more pieces.
Mhm.
If I was a Vikings, you know who I would try to get?
Oh,
I tried to steal Garrett from the Cleveland.
Miles Garrett.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. He'd fit in nicely with that defense.
Oh my goodness, would he ever? Would he? I give them whatever they want. You want ones, twos, ones and a half, one
Mm,
and three quarters, ones and a piece of donut, whatever you want, whatever you want. I
yeah.
give it to you for Miles Garrett because that piece on defense, you're gonna win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You're gonna win
Yeah.
a Super Bowl.
Well, the
You're gonna win a
showdown is this week between them and the Lions.
man. Where?
I think it's in Detroit.
Oh man, that's gonna be a war.
You know that. So and nobody is sitting in that game.
That's gonna be a war, and you got to give it to the Lions, man. As banged up as they are,
Yeah.
they still balling.
Oh yeah. Yes, they
They
are.
balling. Man, are they balling.
Yeah.
Woo.
So that's gonna be the game.
Yeah, that's gonna be the game. Dan Campbell, man, man, that dude is the truth, man. I gotta give him props. Dan Campbell, he's the
Yeah,
real deal.
yeah, he makes Riverboat Ron. He looked like a choir boy.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. And you know who
Yeah.
we got to give a lot of love to? The Commanders. Quinn,
Yes, yes.
man, he got them guys playing, man. He got them guys playing, believing. It's like, yo, don't give Penix the ball. Don't give number 5 the ball. Please don't
Mm.
give him the ball
Oh yeah,
because he
yeah.
gonna find a way to win.
That's right.
Oh, he
That's
gonna
right.
find a way to win.
Oh, I got to give Quinn his props. And
Like,
and he got the right
mm,
quarterback.
yep, yep, yep.
You know.
It's exciting. I really hope there's a lot of rumblings going on, Joe, of changing the name back to the Redskins, and I think that needs to happen sooner than later.
Hmm. Yeah, I know they were talking about changing the name again.
They
Now,
need to go back.
I mean, I wouldn't
I mean,
mind
they're
if they would.
they're Indian nations. As a matter of fact, they did a whole documentary on the guy who actually is the model of it and his whole family and how he's tied into it. It's
Mhm,
not a derogatory thing at all. It's actually they took away their legacy because that area of Washington is full of Indian native tribes.
mm, okay.
So it's not a derogatory thing at all. You should see the history on it. It goes all
Mm,
the way up until into the government. I mean, there is like, what are these people talking about? This is like legacy to our family. It's a
yeah.
issue of pride. Anyway, anyway, yeah,
So, well, that's going to be an interesting dynamic if it ever comes to fruition. You know.
yeah. We need that. We need that back. We need that back.
So anyway, Major League Baseball. Now
Hey,
this transaction came way out of left field. Okay, the Diamondbacks landed Corbin Burnes.
okay,
Now they weren't even on the radar,
okay.
and they got him for 6 years at 210 million.
Uh,
So, and he can opt out after 26. Now
oh,
the Giants and the Blue Jays were the front runners, as they said, but that kind of went out the window. The Giants, they're like the bridesmaid. They keep getting up there, and they got all the money in the world, but nobody wants to go there.
I wonder
So,
why. I
you
wonder
know,
why.
yeah, it's strange. But what another thing that makes me wonder is with all the deep pockets the Mets got, why didn't they go after him? You know,
I don't know.
so they've been standing pat since they signed um, Soto. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they got Clay Holmes and they got Frankie Montas,
Mm-hmm.
but it just boggles the mind that why they wouldn't have gone after him. You could never have too much pitching. So,
Well, you know what I always say. There's a reason why certain teams are always the bottom half.
hmm well, but anyway, Cody Bellinger.
Oh,
Now the
okay.
Yanks got him from the Cubs. Okay. Now when they got him, he told Aaron Boone, "I'll do whatever you want me to do. I'll play left field, center field, right field, or first base, whatever you want me to do."
Mm-hmm.
That reminds me of his father, Clay, when
Mm-hmm.
he played with the Yankees. He got 2 rings with the Yankees.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, yeah, and he played every position but pitcher and catcher.
Wow. Well,
So
that's the way to stay employed.
exactly, and Cody reminds me of that from what he said to Boone. He said, "I'll do whatever you need me to do." you know.
Keep the
So
checks rolling in. Yep.
that's right. That's right. So I think he's going to be a nice addition to the team.
Absolutely.
You
You need
know.
players like that. You need
Yeah.
players like that. Those guys are like glue because of their work ethic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he wanted to come to the Yankees. He told his agent, said, "Get me to the Yankees. I don't care how, but get me there." So that's
Yeah.
what you want.
That's what you want.
you know.
That those kind of guys keep a locker room sober.
Mm, yeah, and they need somebody in that locker room to get in people's faces, and because it's been ridiculous how they've been slacking off, when they
Yeah,
shouldn't be.
with all that talent.
Yeah, yeah, but no accountability. That's the problem.
That's the problem. You
So,
know.
you
Yeah.
know, but I just want to say this week the Braves lost one of their biggest fans, and that was Jimmy Carter.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he was at the game when Aaron broke Ruth's record, and he when after Aaron broke the record, the Georgia Chamber of Commerce gave him a brand new car,
Oh
and
really?
yeah, and Carter gifted him a license plate that said HR 715.
Wow.
So rest in peace, Jimmy Carter. He was 100 years old.
Wow. He lived a long, pretty long
He was the
stretch.
longest living president.
Wow. Wow.
So rest in peace.
Man, Jimmy Peanut Carter. Yeah.
So what's Cam Newton saying these days?
Man, I'm really impressed with what Cam has brought to ESPN. He's brought some reality.
Hmm.
That's what I call it. Reality. And he is really doing a bang up job of balancing the scales in this
Hmm.
conversation about Lamar and how great Lamar is.
Mm,
And that,
mm,
it's not easy being a quarterback. And there's a lot of moving parts you don't know of. And so it's just so refreshing to have someone who's actually played the game at a very high level,
hmm.
right? Instead of all these talking heads and all this speculation, really bring some soberness to the conversations that they have. You know
Right.
what I mean? As opposed to what's that station in New York? They kind of repeat the same news every 20 or 30 minutes. I can't. 10-10 wins. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
That's how sports sounds to me a lot of times. Did you just say that
yeah.
half an hour ago? How long can I talk? I ain't gonna beat how long can I beat that dead horse? You
Right.
know? But
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
finally Lamar, people are like, yeah, why are we I mean, he's like he's not he's very close to hitting 5,000
Mm,
and hitting 1,000 rushing. And I
mm.
don't think that's been ever done.
I don't think so either. No.
Like, I mean, this is probably be one of his quietest MVP run, run, seasons.
Mm.
I mean, 4,000. I mean, I'm like, what?
That's because all the attention is on Josh Allen.
Yeah, and I mean, Josh is doing his thing now. Don't get me wrong. Now, Josh is doing. I love watching me some Josh Allen now,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Lamar is doing some. I mean, his passing is like otherworldly now. He out there like Marino. He out there like
Mm.
that.
Yeah.
And even Michael Vick chimed in and was just like, y'all need to put some respect on that man's name because he's
Hmm.
doing some stuff ain't nobody doing. So
Well.
I just wanted to chime in on what Cam is bringing. That was a very, 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 very good addition to ESPN. Refreshing. I
Mm.
can I can listen to it to a little bit more than 5 minutes now.
Well, so there's finally somebody at ESPN that doesn't have any skeletons in their closet.
Oh Lord, gee, oh Lord, oh Lord, Lord. I won't go that far, but
Yeah.
oh Lord,
Well, at any rate, it's good to hear that he's doing well on
yeah,
ESPN and
he
he's
is.
keeping it together.
Yeah, he
So,
is.
but that's all we have for this week.
So we got, and I know I promised you guys Formula One. Next week, God willing, I'm going to kick off with Formula One. It's one of the greatest sports in the world. I love racing.
Hmm.
I really plan to in 2025 to not only get to North Carolina with you, Joe, but
Hmm.
also get to Formula One somewhere in the United States because it's just an exciting sport.
Yeah.
Racing,
Well,
I've always loved racing, and
yeah. I'm looking
so
forward to it.
absolutely, my friends. So here we go, the kickoff for 2025 and Smarter Fan Podcast. And as we always say, stay in the
Stay
game.
in the game.
Stay
All
in the
right.
game. Have a good one,
Have
my
a good
friend.
evening. All right. You too.
Bye-bye.
Smarterfan.